surrounded by full, long eyelashes. As a young teenager, my attributes didn't stop me from being a tomboy. Over the summer of my 15th year, my budding breasts exploded, and my new breasts most definitely interfered. The boys themselves put the biggest damper on things. The same ones I played football with during weekend pickup games changed overnight. They made up sexual stories about me and passed them around high school as truth. Girls and boys alike believed the rumors. I never quite understood why a loner and a bookworm who minded her own business was made out to be such a slut. Not that I gave it a lot of thought. I was also blessed by being born with a tough outer shell that very little invaded. If you add my couldn't-care-less attitude to my looks, most considered me a conceited bitch. Again, I didn't care. I had big dreams on my horizon, and nothing would stand in my way. My looks, for some strange reason, played a part in my grand scheme for life. More than anything, I wanted to be taken seriously. This meant men would look me in the eye and nod at my breasts while speaking to me. This may not add up to a career in law enforcement for most people, but it did for me. I loved police officers from the time I was a child. I had no fear of them. They stood for integrity and justice, and they made the world a safer place to live in. I saw officers as heroes. I counted the years, and then months, then days until I could put my dream into play. I even took a few criminal justice classes after graduating high school to hold me over. 21 was not the year to celebrate legal drinking. It was the year I finally realized my dream. Because of my early summer birthday, I attended the police academy at the worst possible time. The Devil's Backyard isn't as hot as Phoenix, Arizona in July. Hotter than hell is a fitting description. To realize my dream, I sweat through 4.5 sizzling months in hell's inferno. It paid off. I graduated at the top of my class and even excelled at the physical requirements. There's no double standard in law enforcement. Men and women take the same tests, physical and academic. After completing the academy, I lived my dream for 3 glorious years. 3 years of patrolling the streets of Phoenix in a heavy Kevlar vest, a dark blue uniform, and a shining gold badge on my chest. To be honest, the job had its ups and downs. Sexual harassment, mostly from married cops, being one of the downs. On the upside, the last thing a criminal looked at when my gun, taser, or pepper spray was pointed in his or her direction was my chest. Above all, I love the camaraderie, the sense of family, and the spirit of the brother and sisterhood that wearing blue gave me. I, the tomboy, the loner bookworm, fit in. My dream literally came to a crashing halt high in the Arizona mountains on a ski slope. It was one of my rare weekends off, and I headed up north for a day of winter snowboarding. Most people think of Arizona as desert. That's far from the truth. Arizona has great ski areas set among the high mountain pines. I loved untamed powder and took ridiculous risks because I was 24 years old and thought I was invincible. I was also an adrenaline junkie who enjoyed getting away from the grind of the streets for a short time and testing my limits. The particular run that ruined my career wasn't even that difficult to shred. To this day, I'm not sure exactly what happened. The end result was a confrontation with a tree that I didn't win. I should feel lucky that I'm alive. The worst damage was a shoulder injury that required multiple surgeries. Pain, surgery, more pain, rehabilitation, surgery. I suffered through this endless cycle for a year. I worked my ass off and did everything the doctors told me to so I could get back on the street. Even so, at 1 year and 2 months, holding my gun left my hand shaking. I refused to give up and fooled my orthopedic surgeon into releasing me with a fit-for-duty letter. I took 4 ibuprofen, amped myself up with 2 monster drinks, and went to the firing range to qualify. That was officially the second worst day of my life. Turning in my badge and gun takes first place. My off-duty injury nets me exactly $165 a month from the police retirement system. Even living with my thermostat on 84, the money doesn't come close to covering the cost of my monthly electric bill in 100-plus temperatures during a Phoenix summer. I still had to pay rent, utilities, and buy food. I had few options unless I wanted